You can lift 20 years of yellow off your teeth for less than 50 cents and 2 minutes a night with 4 things you already own. This is not bleaching, and it is not scrubbing harder. The reason nothing has worked for you is that every product you have tried has been aimed at the wrong layer of your tooth. Listen to me. In Japanese medicine, we have known for more than 1,000 years that the yellow on an older tooth does not live where most people think it does. But your dentist will not tell you any of this. He will sell you whitening trays that only touch the outer shell. He will sell you strips that burn the gum but never reach the layer that holds the color. He will tell you that yellowing is normal for your age. He's aiming his tools at the wrong place. The yellow that returns within weeks, the dullness no toothpaste fixes, the front teeth that look darker than your back teeth in photographs. These all point to the same overlooked layer. She had stopped opening her mouth in family photographs 8 years ago. Her daughter said she always smiled with her lips pressed tight. She had tried 2 professional whitening sessions at $400 each, 6 different toothpastes, and a kit her sister sent from Florida. Within 2 months, every result faded. Listen to me. You are not failing. You were given the wrong answer for years. The yellow you see is not sitting on the enamel where the strips are aimed. It is in the layer just beneath. And that layer is reached through softening, not scrubbing. The 4 kitchen things I am about to show you work, because they soften and lift in the same step, the way nothing in the drugstore aisle is built to do. I am going to show you what they are, the change you will see in the mirror within 7 days, and the one part of this almost everyone gets wrong. Before I show you the 4 things, tell me in the comments how old you are, and tell me how many years it has been since you smiled with your teeth showing in a photograph. I read every single comment on this channel. Now let me take you into the case that taught me the most about why this works. Her name was Eleanor. She was 68 years old, a retired 2nd grade teacher from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. She still wrote thank you notes by hand and kept a small dish of butterscotch candies on the table by her front door for any neighbor who stopped by. Her husband had been gone for 6 years. Her granddaughter was getting married in the spring. The wedding was the reason she came to see me. She told me she had not smiled with her teeth showing in a photograph since 2017. She had a folder on her kitchen counter, an actual paper folder of every product she had bought to fix the yellow. 2 professional whitening trays at $420 each. A blue light kit her sister mailed from Florida. 3 different whitening toothpastes. A bottle of charcoal powder that turned her sink black and did nothing for her teeth. She had spent close to $1,200 in 3 years. Every product worked for a few weeks. Then the color came back. By the time she sat across from me, she had given up. She had picked out the dress for the wedding already, and she had been practicing her closed-mouth smile in the bathroom mirror. What was overlooked in Eleanor's mouth was something no dentist had ever checked for, because the standard examination does not check for it. Her enamel was not the problem. Her enamel was fine. The yellow was not sitting on the surface of her teeth. It was held in the soft layer just beneath, and that softer layer had been left exposed because the protective fluid that normally washes it every night had dried up. The strips and trays could not reach that layer. They were not built to within 12 days of starting what I am about to show you. Eleanor told me her front 2 teeth had brightened by what she estimated was 3 or 4 shades. Within 3 months, she sent me a photograph from her granddaughter's wedding. Her mouth was open. She was laughing. The color of her teeth in that photograph was lighter than it had been when she was 50. So how is it possible that something this simple worked when $1,200 in whitening products had failed her 3 times in a row? The answer is in something happening inside her mouth that no dentist ever checked for. What no dentist ever checked in Eleanor's mouth was the same thing they never check in anyone over 50. It is something simple, and once you understand it, you will see why nothing else has worked for you either. Think of your mouth as a river. Day and night, a clear fluid runs across your teeth. washing them, carrying away the soft yellow film that food and drink leave behind. This fluid is your saliva. When you are 20 years old, the river runs full. When you sleep, it keeps running, just slower. The cleaning happens whether you are awake or not. After 50, the river begins to slow. After 60, in many people, it slows to a trickle. After 70, especially at night, it can almost stop. Your salivary glands produce less fluid. The fluid they do produce contains less of the minerals that protect the soft inner layer of the tooth, and the medications most people over 60 take for blood pressure, for sleep, for mood, almost every one of them dries the mouth further. 3 changes happen at once. Less fluid, weaker fluid, more drying influences. This is why your whitening toothpaste feels like it works for a few days and then fails. The paste sits on the outer enamel for the 2 minutes you brush, and then it is gone. The river that is supposed to keep washing the layer underneath, the layer that actually holds the yellow color, has stopped flowing. Whatever the paste lifts in the morning returns by the evening, because nothing is washing through the rest of the day. But this still does not explain why the yellow keeps coming back even after you stop drinking coffee, even after you change your toothpaste, even after you do everything the dentist tells you. What is causing your body to regenerate the yellow over and over again? That answer is in a different place entirely. The answer is in your gut. And before you scroll away thinking your gut has nothing to do with your teeth, I want you to understand something. The mouth and the gut are one long tube, the same tube, and what happens at one end of that tube changes what happens at the other end. By the time you reach 60, the average gut has lost roughly half of the beneficial bacteria it had at 30. When that loss happens, the gut produces low-grade inflammation that travels through the bloodstream to every organ in the body, including the salivary glands. Inflamed salivary glands produce less saliva, and the saliva they do produce has fewer protective minerals in it. So the river that is supposed to be cleaning your teeth dries up not just because of age, but because of what is happening in your gut. There are 3 things the gut needs to reverse this. The good bacteria themselves, which we call probiotics, the fiber those bacteria eat, which we call prebiotics, and the healing compounds they produce after they eat, which we call postbiotics. Think of it as seed, soil, and rain. The seed is the bacteria. The soil is the fiber that feeds them. The rain is what they produce that nourishes the rest of your body, including the glands in your mouth. As long as the gut keeps producing the inflammation that drove your salivary glands to quiet down in the first place, the yellow keeps regenerating, no matter what you do on the outside. So how do we fix both layers at once? How do we lift the yellow that is already there and quiet what is producing it from the inside? That is what I am about to show you. Now let me show you the 4 things that fix both layers at once, starting tonight. The first thing is the inner white part of a banana peel, not the yellow outside, the soft white pith on the inside, the part you have been throwing away your whole life. The inside of a banana peel is loaded with potassium, magnesium, and manganese. These 3 minerals are the same minerals your saliva uses to protect the soft layer beneath your enamel. And when you apply the inner peel directly, those minerals transfer into that layer in a way no toothpaste can match. You will need 1 tablespoon of the soft white pith, scraped from the inside of a ripe banana peel with a spoon. Use it the same night you scrape it. Do not store it. You might be wondering whether this is just an old folk remedy with no real effect. I understand the doubt. The first time you try this, you will think it cannot possibly work, because it is too simple. Do it anyway for 7 nights and look at your front teeth in the bathroom mirror on the morning of day 8. Most people stop doubting on day 4. The second thing is half a teaspoon of fresh lemon juice, not bottled juice. Fresh from a real lemon. The acid in fresh lemon juice does something the acid in bottled juice cannot. It briefly softens the very top of the enamel, just enough to let the minerals from the banana peel reach the layer beneath, the layer where the yellow actually lives. Without the lemon, The banana minerals sit on the surface and do not penetrate. Now I have to pause here because I know what some of you are thinking. You have heard that lemon damages your teeth. You have heard it your whole life. This is one of those places where the common warning is true in the wrong context and wrong in the right context. Lemon juice held in the mouth for an extended time, sipped repeatedly throughout the day. That is what damages teeth. Half a teaspoon, applied for 2 minutes, combined with the minerals that immediately replace what the acid loosens, that is something different entirely. The lemon opens the door. The banana walks through. Now let me tell you about the second case that made me certain this approach was not a fluke. Robert was 71 years old, a retired postal carrier from Bozeman, Montana. He had walked the same 6-mile route for 31 years before he retired, and he still walked 3 miles every morning at sunrise, regardless of the weather. He had never smoked. He drank 1 cup of black coffee every morning of his adult life, just one. He thought that 1 cup could not possibly be what was yellowing his teeth, and he was right, it was not. His daughter had told him over Thanksgiving that his front teeth looked darker than the year before. He had tried 2 over-the-counter whitening kits before he came to see me, and a tray fitted by his dentist that cost $600. The color faded within 3 weeks every time. What no one checked, again, was the fluid in his mouth at night. His tongue was dry every morning. He had not noticed it because it had been happening so gradually. Within 10 days of starting the 4 ingredients, his daughter called him to ask if he had gotten his teeth professionally whitened again. Within 2 months, the photographs at his grandson's high school graduation showed teeth lighter than any picture in his retirement party album from 6 years before. The third thing is a small pinch of fine sea salt, not the iodized table salt in the blue cylinder. Fine sea salt, the kind sold in a small grinder or a glass jar. About 1/8 of a teaspoon. Sea salt does 2 things at once. It draws moisture back into the soft layer of the tooth through a process the body recognizes immediately, and it carries trace minerals the iodized salt has been stripped of. It is the rebuilding minerals that finish what the lemon opens and the banana delivers. By the way, you should know something most people do not realize. After 3 or 4 nights of this protocol, you may notice that your mouth feels less dry when you wake up in the morning. That is not your imagination. The salivary glands are beginning to respond. The river is starting to flow again. When that happens, the protocol is doing what it is supposed to do at the deepest level, and the visible whitening on your teeth is just the surface sign of a larger change. The fourth thing is your regular toothpaste, a pea-sized amount, the same one you use every day. The toothpaste is not what whitens. The toothpaste is the carrier. It binds the other 3 ingredients together, lets them stay on the tooth for the full 2 minutes, and provides the gentle abrasion that lifts what the other ingredients have loosened. Any standard fluoride toothpaste will do this job. You do not need to buy a special one. Now here is the exact sequence. You will do this once a night, before bed, after your normal brushing. In a small bowl, place 1 tablespoon of the soft inner pith from a fresh banana peel. Add half a teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. Add 1/8 of a teaspoon of fine sea salt. Add a pea-sized amount of your toothpaste. Mash it together with the back of a spoon until it forms a soft paste. Put the paste on your toothbrush. Brush gently, in small circles for 2 full minutes. Pay special attention to the front 6 teeth, where the yellow is most visible. After 2 minutes, spit and rinse with warm water. Do not eat or drink anything except water for 30 minutes afterward. Then sleep. In the first week, you will start to see the dullness lift from your front teeth. The change is subtle on day 3. It is visible to you in the mirror on day 7. In the second week, friends and family who see you regularly will start to notice without being able to say what is different. By the end of the first month, the change is unmistakable in photographs. By month 3, you will be looking at teeth that are lighter than any you have had since your 40s. This protocol handles the surface. Within 7 days, you will see results, but the yellow will come back If your gut keeps producing the inflammation that quieted your salivary glands in the first place, the kitchen handles what is on the outside. The inside is a different question. So how do you fix the gut? And the way I tend my own gut every single day, the way the elders in my mountain town have for generations, is with kombucha. There are three things the gut needs to do its work: the good bacteria, the fiber those bacteria feed on, and the healing compounds they produce after they eat. Most things you can buy give you one of the three. Some give you two. Kombucha is one of the only sources I know that gives you all three at once: the probiotic bacteria, the prebiotic acids that feed them, and the postbiotic compounds they have already produced during fermentation. Those three working together are what quiet the inflammation, restore the salivary glands, and stop the yellow from regenerating from the inside. I make my own kombucha at home because I have the time and the knowledge. But for everyone watching online who can't brew their own, I give BoochBod Kombucha Gummies. The link is in the description. Or you can search BoochBod Kombucha Gummies on Amazon. Now let me tell you the part of this protocol almost every person gets wrong. They use a banana peel that is not ripe enough. I know what you are thinking. A banana is a banana. Your whole life, you have eaten them green, yellow, spotted. It never mattered. I am not asking you to throw out the way you eat bananas. I am asking you to use them differently for this specific purpose, for one specific reason. The minerals in the inner pith are not present in the same amount at every stage of ripeness. A green or barely yellow banana has very low levels of potassium and manganese in the pith. A bright yellow banana has medium levels. A banana with brown spots on the outside, what most people consider almost too ripe to eat, has the highest mineral concentration in the inner pith, 2 to 3 times higher than the bright yellow banana sitting next to it. When you use a banana that is too fresh, the protocol still does something, but the something it does is small. The yellow lifts a little, the teeth feel a little smoother, and most people quit by day 6 because the change is not big enough to feel real. They tell their sister it did not work. They go back to the whitening strips. I see this in person after person. A woman tells me she has been doing the protocol for 2 weeks and seen no results. I ask her one question: what did the outside of the banana peel look like? She tells me bright yellow, fresh from the grocery store, sometimes even with a little green at the stem. I ask her to wait 3 more days before she uses the next one, until the brown spots cover at least a third of the peel. She does it. Within 4 days, she calls me back to say her front 2 teeth have changed visibly, and she cannot believe how much difference 3 more days of ripeness made. This is the mistake. The correction is to use only bananas with significant brown spotting on the outside. If you bring home a bunch of bananas, set aside 2 of them and let them sit on your counter for an extra 3 to 5 days until the peels are heavily speckled with brown. Those are the 2 you use for this protocol. The bright yellow ones, eat for breakfast. The speckled brown ones, save for your teeth. There is one more piece. Do not use the banana peel cold from the refrigerator. The minerals release into the paste more easily at room temperature. If you keep your bananas in the refrigerator, take one out an hour before you make the paste and let it warm on the counter. This single detail, room temperature instead of cold, changes how much of the active mineral content actually transfers to your teeth in those 2 minutes of brushing. When you do this protocol correctly, with a properly ripened banana at room temperature, what you will see in the mirror after 7 days is not a small change. It is the kind of change that makes you stop and stare, the kind that makes your daughter ask if you did something different, the kind that makes you, for the first time in years, smile at yourself before you remember to close your mouth. What you are really protecting is the next photograph someone takes of you at a wedding like Eleanor's, where you do not have to be the one with your lips pressed tight. It is never too late. The body at 70 and 75 and 80 still knows how to make the fluid that washes your teeth clean, still knows how to rebuild the minerals beneath the surface, no matter how many years you have spent thinking the yellow was permanent. If this video has helped you, subscribe to the channel so the next one finds you. I make these videos for the people who have been forgotten by the clinics, and the only way more of them find me is when good souls like you bring them along. Share this with the sister or the friend, the one who has stopped smiling in family photographs. Tell me in the comments which of the 4 ingredients you didn't expect. I read every single comment on this channel. The BoochBod Kombucha Gummies I mentioned earlier are linked in the description, or you can search them on Amazon whenever you are ready. Until next time.